Hi friends, my name is Emily and this is The Self-Help Chef. I believe that food is the ultimate connection to all things mental, physical, and spiritual. This series is all about how to navigate important self-help topics while making delicious plant-based food. Food is the source of community, important discussion, family, and so much more. I encourage everyone to cook along with me and my guests while we talk candidly and openly about everything health and wellness.
Hi friends, welcome to The Self-Help Chef. My name is Emily and I'm so excited to have you in my kitchen along with one of my extremely close friends who I love dearly. She competed on Hell's Kitchen and ended as a top 2 finalist. We're honored to have her on our second season of The Self-Help Chef. It's Megan Gill. She came all the way from Dallas, Texas, and I'm just so honored that you're here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
And it's been a long road of Hell's Kitchen and after, and just life after Hell's Kitchen I think is really interesting. So
Yes.
One of those things that goes with Hell's Kitchen and having a life as a young chef is, I think, we've talked about it before a lot, imposter syndrome. So we're gonna talk about imposter syndrome, super fun topic, super vulnerable to talk about. And we're also gonna be making a vegan gnocchi with a vodka sauce. And so Megan is the master of Italian cooking. So I thought it was perfect to combine her expertise with Italian cooking and my expertise with vegan cooking and just have a nice
Happy marriage.
Yeah, a nice happy marriage, exactly. So we have our potatoes, our flour, we're actually using whole wheat flour, and our secret ingredient, this is like one of my favorite ingredients, I'd say miso and aquafaba. So a lot of people don't know what aquafaba is. You know what aquafaba is. It's chickpea juice. Sounds really delicious.
Yeah.
But if you've ever seen just a can of chickpeas, it's the juice that is holding all of the chickpea babies in the can. And so it acts as a binder. It actually whips up like a meringue, which I think is really cool. So that's what we're using instead of eggs today. We have onions, we have cashews, and then in the back, we have a couple more ingredients that we'll show you when we get there. So I'm gonna start peeling the potatoes. Megan's gonna do just a rough chop of the onions. She's like way more experienced than me, so I'm just gonna, you do you, girl. And we're just gonna get started. So talking about imposter syndrome, I think it's something that's just so common with people our age because I feel like it's very easy to compare given like social media, seeing how, it's so easy to see what other people are doing in their jobs, in their life. And so when was the first time you experienced imposter syndrome and what were kind of those like thoughts that popped up in your head? I know this is a very vulnerable question.
Yeah. When's the first time? I feel like definitely throughout like being a teenager, definitely, or just kind of growing into who you are as a young adult. I think that's definitely the first time I experienced anything like that.
Yeah.
Because that's a hard time in anyone's life, I feel.
So hard. It's like such an awkward time too.
Yes, yeah, you're trying to figure your life out. There's so many options.
Fun fact that a lot of people don't know is that me and Megan actually went to the same undergrad in UTSA, so Go Runners.
Yeah.
And we didn't even know that until we were filming for Hell's Kitchen. So,
Yep.
And then after that was when you became a chef. So I want to know how you decided to get into cooking and how did you overcome the imposter syndrome with changing your whole career, changing from like a very regular life of going to college and having a corporate job or whatever you were wanting to do before you decided?
Yeah, so I've kind of always wanted to be involved with food. Being a chef, it's hard, especially trying to transition into becoming one because you have a certain, or at least I had a certain image of what a chef was.
Yes.
And I didn't learn until, as I got older, really recently around the show. There's so many other outlets you can do in food. You don't just have to be a chef.
Yeah.
So I think trying to navigate that was a little hard for me.
Yeah.
And trying to say, oh, I'm a chef, but I'm just a low-level prep cook, you know? Like, that's really hard because a lot of people don't understand how many obstacles you have to come to have the like notoriety of calling yourself chef.
Yes.
And the respect that other people give you to have yourself be called a chef.
Yeah.
So that was challenging for me, and I truly don't think I got over that until recently, you know, and I still struggle with that.
Oh, I struggle with it too. And also you didn't go to culinary school, right?
No.
And so I feel like that was another thing that you had to overcome, especially going into Hell's Kitchen and working in kitchens with chefs who maybe have gone to culinary school and prove to yourself that you don't have to have a classical training to be top 2 on Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah. I flip-flopped between, a lot of chefs don't like kids that come out of culinary school, that doesn't matter, to working for chefs that, you're not qualified enough.
Yeah.
You don't have any culinary experience. You haven't had any classes. So I think that alone is intimidating, and it's really easy to feel lost and to feel like you're living like a double standard of life.
Yeah. And people in the restaurant industry kind of like that intimidating environment too. They kind of thrive on it. And what I've noticed, I remember when I got the call that I was going to be on Hell's Kitchen, my chefs at the time, 2 lady chefs, awesome people, but they were like, you're 23, you're 22 at the time, you can't do a competition. Like, only people who are at this age who have like excelled all of these things, had all of these accomplishments in their life can do a cooking show and be a head chef. And so it's I feel like it's a internal struggle as well as an external struggle with dealing with imposter syndrome, because there's a lot of people telling you lots of different shit and you're like trying to navigate it. And so were there people in your life who kind of doubted you? Or did you have a lot of support getting to where you are right now?
You know, my family has always been supportive. It's just kind of like whatever makes you happy, we're behind it.
Yeah.
But I think even still, there's a lot of people that challenge me and challenge my qualifications, especially when I was younger. And I think, especially as a woman in a professional kitchen, I think it's way hard, especially coming in with no qualifications. Even if you have the skill set, everyone will question and doubt you.
And the determination and attitude that you have.
Yeah.
You know?
Is hard. It's really hard. And, you know, I think one thing that's weird about our industry, I think a lot of us share the same struggles, especially like with imposter syndrome, but I don't think, for some reason, it's not normalized a lot to openly talk about it, especially with your peers.
Yeah.
I find that really weird.
Me too. I think so too. And I think that's why we kind of bonded, because we had different upbringings of being a chef. And then I remember when we got to Hell's Kitchen, we were like, hey, we're like stressed, right?
Yeah, like we feel the same.
Like, this is tough. We don't feel qualified at times because we're young.
Right.
And I think since we were open about it and we were talking about our insecurities, our anxieties, our irrational thoughts, we kind of confronted it, and therefore we were able to overcome it.
Yeah.
And do better than we thought in the show.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's so important to talk about, for sure, especially in an industry where you're supposed to look strong and you're supposed to look tough.
Yeah, which I feel like you are strong and tough, especially if you're able to be vulnerable.
Say that again.
You are strong and tough, especially if you're able to be vulnerable.
Yes. Oh my God. Like, I'm putting that on a shirt.
Yeah.
All right, so you have your onions cut up. I have my potatoes cut up. We have a pot of water on high heat. We're gonna let it come to a boil, and we're gonna boil these potatoes. So this is the base of a gnocchi. So gnocchi is, I don't know how you feel, but I always think that it's like a beginner pasta, because it's really easy to bring together, and all we're gonna be doing is boiling the potatoes, mixing it with flour, and then we're going to be kneading it and rolling it out, cutting it into cute shapes, and that's it.
Super cute.
And today we're not gonna use a fork, because forks, I think, we both decided they're overrated. So why not we're not gonna be fancy, we're just gonna shape them into shapes how we want, and we'll throw them into the pot.
Yeah.
So what was your experience with imposter syndrome going into something so intense as Hell's Kitchen?
I was really concerned of, you know, these people say I'm qualified enough to be on this really cool show.
Yeah.
But, you know, what are the other contestants going to think? You know, it was a lot. So I think definitely going into it, I was just like terrified.
Yeah.
Because I was just like doubting myself. Like,
And we didn't know it was going to be all younger people either.
Yeah.
So
like, am I really good enough to do this? What, you know, how you feel can be so debilitating.
yeah.
And how you move.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And it's so easy to get in your head. I think especially in something where you're in front of a camera, or it's a competition, or maybe it's like a big job that you're doing. We're just gonna do a couple sprinkles of salt, and then we're gonna bring it out onto our cutting board and knead it for a little bit.
Knead it.
Ooh, she's looking good. I actually faced a lot of imposter syndrome when I was in the pandemic and I was living at my parents' house and didn't know, like, we couldn't talk about Hell's Kitchen yet, and I didn't know what I was qualified to do and to work, even, especially because we can't say that we've been on a show. So, like, finding out what to do and going for things that you can't, you know that you're qualified for, but what if somebody thinks that you're not? You know,
Right.
always like the what if and what other people think, and
Right.
I think that's a big part of it too. Something I always tell myself are feelings are not facts.
Yeah. I need like a sign in my living room that says that.
Right?
Facts are not,
Yeah.
or feelings are not
We're
facts.
just gonna make a line of t-shirts
Yeah.
and art with motivational quotes. Maybe that should be our next venture.
Yeah. We're leaving the chef world.
Em and Meg will be in Marshall's before you know it.
Yeah.
All right, I think mine looks smooth.
Yeah, I think we're about there.
Smells very wheaty.
Wheaty.
It's very wheaty. So we'll combine our two dough balls and just put it straight in the bowl, cover it, yeah. And we'll cover it with like a wet paper towel so it doesn't dry out. And we are going to let it rest for about 30 minutes, and then we will roll it out and cut it into our shape. And while we're waiting, we're gonna make our way over to the stovetop and make our amazing vegan vodka sauce with real vodka in it. I'm so excited about this because I think a really good hack to cooking vegan food is cooking with cashews.
Ooh, yeah.
And so we're just gonna simmer our sauce and make our sauce just like we usually would. And then we're gonna, in our blender, I don't even boil cashews, some people do, just to make them a little thinner, but for me, I just throw them straight in there whole. And they mix up really nicely. And you told me off camera that you like spice, so we're gonna make it spicy.
I love spicy food.
Because I love spicy food too. What's your favorite Italian dish?
That's hard. There's so much good food.
so many good things.
I mean, gnocchi's always a winner.
Yeah.
Gnocchi, any handmade pasta.
Yeah. Do you hand roll or hand make your own pasta? Or do you like to?
When I have the time,
When you have
yes.
time, yeah.
If I'm just like coming home and want a bowl of pasta, no.
Yeah. You're like,
No.
let me get the dried stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna start with our onions, and then we have 1 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes, and then we're going to sprinkle it with some garlic powder, and we're gonna simmer it. And then we're gonna deglaze, which is just a fancy term for pouring in some sauce, some vodka, and letting it evaporate. So that's what we're gonna do to make our vodka sauce, and then we're gonna blend it all up with our cashews, and it's as simple as that.
Yeah. It's so good.
It does. All right, let's taste it.
Excited for the cashews.
Me too. They're already in there.
Oh, that
It's even a
looks so
little
good.
creamier now.
I am impressed. Good?
Yeah. You like it?
I think we could do
a little more salt. I agree. It like hits you in the front nicely, and then when it gets to the back, it's a little slightly bland. Okay. Yeah, you can always add salt.
That's really good though. I'm
glad
impressed.
you like it. Completely vegan.
Wow.
But very delicious. Okay, I think this is the winner.
So good.
It does. I love the color of vodka sauce. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's good.
Yeah, me too.
With a little spice.
Yeah. Ooh, yes. Okay, yeah. We're doing it. We're putting crushed red pepper in there. We're like,
wait,
it needs more. So we're just gonna do a couple pinches of crushed red pepper. All right. Now it's ready. I'm gonna go on with the. Oh my God, that's really good. Yeah. It just needed that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice and spicy.
Yeah.
Now we will set this to the side and we'll make our pasta dough. Okay, so now our little babies are all ready, and we are going to pour the sauce in that we made earlier. And it's pretty thick, so we're not gonna do too much. We don't want it to overpower the gnocchi that we just made. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chef Meg.
Okay.
It looks really good. And I like the color contrast of the brown gnocchi and the red sauce.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting.
Yeah, it's super cute.
Look good?
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're gonna plate. Favorite part ever. These are gonna be, I'm assuming they're gonna be very rich, so we're not gonna put too much in our bowl. All right, and we're just gonna top it with some more crushed red pepper, because why not?
Why not?
Why? It's the best.
Or can no.
And if you have like vegan Parmesan or any sort of like cheese that you want to top with this, I recommend it as well. We didn't use any in our sauce, so if you want to top it, that works too. It's good.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good. It's very spicy. The wheat adds a different taste than you would have with a regular all-purpose flour, but I kind of like it.
Yeah. It's like
It's wholesome.
more hearty.
Yeah, it's very hearty. It's like a nice pasta, bowl of pasta to have on like a warm or a cold day and enjoy with your family.
Perfect for the winter.
Yeah, perfect for the winter. I'm gonna go in again.
It's
And the
good.
sauce is so good.
Yeah, it is. Very
The
good.
sauce is the winner, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that was a success.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Meg, for coming all the way to San Antonio to film this with me. And I know you didn't have to, but you've always been such a great friend. And
Thank
I
you for
appreciate
having me.
your friendship, and I look up to you as a chef as well. So
I appreciate you.
And-
And I look up to you. I don't know if you know that.
The feeling is mutual. And tell everybody where they can reach you and follow you on your chef journey.
Yeah, so all my social is just Chef Megan Gill, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Follow me, keep up with me. I have a few exciting things going on, so we'll see what's in store.
So excited. And remember, guys, you are loved and you are important. And we'll see you on the next episode of The Self-Help Chef.